Childs. Oakley, Houston, Childs, Larry Johnson, and Buck Williams. Williams off the dribble.
Good man on the offensive end.
Nine-point margin at the 5-minute mark.
And other guys have to take shots.
Oakley can't control it. Terry Davis misses the putback, gets another, and it goes through. Knicks have struggled as of late. A 17-6 Washington run now in the last 5.5. Here's Oakley. And Buck Williams open. Charlie Ward back on the floor, and Jeff Van Gundy with a 18-point Washington lead.
Without Patrick Ewing, the Knicks have such a low margin of error that big offensively. And right now, it's just Larry Johnson. It's the real Dr. J he's talking about. Pretty good.
Allen Houston with the left-handed attempt. Not there. So the struggle continues for the New York Knicks. 47-34.
Well, I think the struggle is obviously when Washington shoots, they're taller, they can see the basket. When New York shoots, they're smaller, and big guys are in front of them.
Here's Charlie Ward. Larry Johnson hustles down.
See, this is the one mismatch that the Knicks have that they have to take.
3:50 to go before the break. 11-point Washington lead. Whitney. Illegal defense. Last Wednesday night. Prior to that, they're only...
Every night, the key guys have to play great every night. If they don't, they can't win. They just don't have enough offensive power.
Charlie Ward. Entry pass. Good job defensively of Wallace, but it's stolen by Johnson. Before the break. 11-point Washington lead again. Washington 67%. In the final quarter in their loss to Atlanta, they scored 10 points. And that before halftime. Loose ball picked up. And the foul is called for the line. 51-42, 240. Now Craig Sager confirms that the little tattoo on Juwan Howard's shoulder is in honor of Julius. You were a kid who grew up idolizing Julius, right?
Yeah, and he was like a mythical figure because playing in the ABA, you never really got a chance to see him. So he was like this ghost that we had all heard about. And when he finally modeled, he says he's
serving when he played for the Virginia Squires in the ABA. Wow.
That says a lot of things.
Yeah, I know it does. Johnson, no. 2 minutes to go before the 42. Chris Webber sets the pick. Shamgod out to Murray. He's got 50.
Shamgod again showing that he can get to the basket. If you can get to the basket, you can get other guys open.
Oakley, Buck Williams. Foul for Washington. 13-point Washington lead.
Look at that. This kid is quick.
Jeff Van Gundy said they thought about drafting him in the first round last year. Out of Providence, and Sham. 1:05 to go. Oakley. Shamgod. Time call.
Then we have
50 seconds to go. Wallace gets to Murray. A rare shot, but a great offensive board from I'm worried. 14-point lead, 38 seconds to go. Ward.
He used his body so well. He didn't allow Shamgod to get back in front.
6 points for Charlie Ward. How to explain this Washington team?
You don't.
They scored 29 points and a half at home against Detroit. Rod Strickland had garbage thrown on him. Merciless boos at the halftime break. Now they come into the Garden, and they have 59 points with 13 seconds to go.
Against a solid defensive basketball team.
A New York team that is giving up an average of less than 89 points a game. Houston leans in. Nope. Howard to the rebound.
Yeah, that's not the shot he wanted. Committed himself way too early.
inside He said if we try to outscore that team, we're going to lose. They have too much athletic ability. We have to change the complexion of the game. We have to turn it into a grind-it-out affair. And at all times, we have to do a better job of knowing where Tracy Murray and Calbert Cheney are. He's disappointed, obviously, with the score, but he doesn't think it's over.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was telling you at halftime, Vern. You look at the scoreboard, you know the Knicks can't outscore them if they get in the scoring battle. They just don't have their offense. Jeff Van Gundy is right on. They have to make this a slow down, grinding out, physical, tough defensive game. And if they can get the game in that type of tempo, New York can get right back into it or crawl right back into it. That's how they're going to have to do it.
As we get set for the third quarter, it's Charlie Ward, Larry Johnson, who is limping noticeably as he comes across midcourt. Here's Johnson.
And I think that's just from sitting down through the halftime. You get a little stiff. He'll work it out.
Not limping then, but how about the rejection from Wallace?
Well, Wallace is having a huge game.
Another block for Ben Wallace. That's his third.
It's so smart what he does. It's rare that you can get a guy who just wants to rebound and block shots and understands that he's not a scorer, and that's what Wallace tries to do. He's a valuable player for any team to have.
Chris Webber on the dribble. Mills comes to help out defensively, and Oakley gets good position blocking out for the rebound.
It's solid defense. That's what the Knicks have to do.
Charles Oakley, Allen Houston, double team. Ward, quick pass in the corner. And Webber with the... Single-digit lead now, 59-50. Whitney picked up by Charlie Ward. There's the block from Webber on the pick and roll. Good penetration by Whitney. Wallace underneath goes 35%. Bickerstaff telling us this morning our free throw shooting has been atrocious. But I don't think he was really talking about Ben Wallace.
No, he wasn't.
Well, Ward saves it, puts up a little floater in the lane. Juwan Howard comes and clears it for Washington. 8 rebounds for Juwan Howard. That one is rejected by Chris Mills. And Whitney gets it back. Skip pass, Cheney. Jumper, good.
Oh, smart shot open.
Back to an 11-point margin.
Bobby Knight is real happy with that move.
Mills.
Listen, every time he touches the ball, 2 and 3 people are running at him. They're going to make someone else on New York beat him.
Here's Cheney again. In and out. Wallace with the rebound. Ward can't save it. And at the other end, here's Larry Johnson. 11 first quarter points, 2 since then. Another misfire for the Knicks. 9:20 remaining third quarter. Howard over Mills.
So he just turns in
margin now for the Wizards. At home tomorrow night against Cleveland.
And once again, Bernie Bickerstaff begins the second half with a trapping defense. The message here is, I'm going to keep my guys' intensity up.
Larry did not hear us at the beginning of the night. About 7 o'clock this evening, New York time, Commissioner David Stern denied the New York protest of its loss to Miami on Sunday. It was an error of judgment and not a misapplication of the rule.
Well, I tell you what, the commissioner's office was busy today.
Yeah, they were.
Suspending people, fining people. Boy, it's been a tough year in that office.
Another New York turnover, 15-point lead with 8:05 to go third quarter.
You know, Washington's on the verge of really blowing this game out.
When they won here back in January, it was their first victory since '91. They lost 14 in a row at the Garden.
Oh, Wallace. He's everywhere. He's just keeping things alive.
There's Cheney.
Now, he's just going to turn around, too, because he's bigger. It's the same
Starks.
And with New York, again, the bigger the lead, the tougher it is for them to come back, not only from the offensive end.
And as we went to break, we said Charlie Ward had picked up that foul. It was given to Starks. So John Starks commits that turnover, also has 4 fouls, and the scowl deepens.
Yeah, and Jeff Van Gundy said he's struggling so much right now, he's actually contemplating of taking him out of the rotation.
Buck Williams on the floor, picks up Juwan Howard. Charles Oakley with the rebound. Here comes Charlie Ward. Starks. Webber gets back. Oakley quickly underneath. Buck Williams way into the basket, but he does a nice job. Wizards by 15. 6:51 to go. Third quarter of play. Weber is guarded by Oakley, takes the shot. Charlie Ward gets it. Oakley left side. Allen Houston for three.
Boy, he had to rush that because Juwan Howard made him rush it.
6:23 to go. Allen Houston continues to struggle tonight, 2 for 8.
See, the Knicks are starting to get involved in their defensive scheme right now. They're starting to slow it up. This is the type of basketball New York wants.
That foul on Calvert Chaney, his third foul tonight.
And then he gets a delay of game.
Technical foul on Bickerstaff.
See, what Bickerstaff is doing right now is trying to get the back of his player. I guarantee you, Bickerstaff is not on the same side as Chaney Martin supporting his players because they're giving him great effort tonight.
Allen Houston, 2 for 8 from the field. And when you're having trouble, take it strong to the basket. He just did.
Yeah, but here come the Knicks. They're starting to turn this game into their type of play. And for the first time tonight, I'd like to welcome the Madison Square Garden crowd because they haven't been here tonight.
Time called. Washington. Lead is 12.
You just don't know when.
Here's Weber. Under 6 to go, third quarter. Foul. 13-point margin here. The Knicks trail New Jersey by a half game in the battle for the 7th and 8th spots in the playoffs. And come Orlando and the Washington Wizards. John Starks and Juwan Howard. Whitney, 5.5 to go, third quarter. Tracy Murray had a huge second quarter, but he turns it over this time.
Yeah, you know what? And John Starks, the last 3 plays have been involved. So right now he's getting into it with his effort. Next, you hope that he can get into it with his play. But Jeff Van Gundy said it. We have to make this a grind-out game, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Juwan Howard heading to the Washington locker room. We'll get a report from Greg Sager. Underneath, Buck Williams.
Oh,
blocked by Wallace, and Williams is there for the putback. The lead is 9, 5 to go.
And it's a game. It's a game. The Knicks are already back in, though they're down 9.
Charlie Ward, turnover. That's 3 in the last 95 seconds for the Washington Wizards.
You look at this block first. But Buck Williams stays with it.
Trapping Washington off defense. Here's Buck Williams. Back to Houston. Big 3. In and out. Loose ball. Starks. Houston wasn't ready for the pass. That ankle. Shamgod comes off the bench, replacing Whitney.
And see, the problem with Howard out, this is the only guy you can go to right now, and that's Chris Webber. And that's exactly what game. Because right now, they're playing with effort.
Allen Houston. The lead is 7. 22nd timeout. Washington Wizards.
It's almost that they know New Jersey is struggling in New Jersey right now against Toronto. I mean, this is what they need, Allen Houston. The difference here, Liddell Echols, a smaller guy guarding Allen Houston. If you let him get his shot off, it goes in most of the time. He's one of the few guys in the league that can play with the in-between game.
Knicks were down by 12 at the half. They've carved it to a 7-point deficit.
And they were down by 18 in this half.
Right. Houston now with 13 points and 11-1 run. Here's Chaney with the jumper. No. Weber with a rebound.
And I tell you what, still, Gosh Hemgod is getting to the paint and getting other guys shots.
Cummings on the floor for New York. Back to Echols. Weber not the wisest shot.
No, you don't need Chris Webber taking a three-point shot when you're struggling for offense right now.
Charlie Ward penetrates. Buck Williams passes on the shot. That one does not get the roll. Tipped out. Charlie Ward. Starks for three.
Oh, my. That might be the opening of the floodgates.
13-1 Knick run.
This crowd loves effort.
John Starks in a huge struggle. Cans a big three. New Jersey, 96-92.
And the crowd is cheering that score right now.
Toronto came into the game 6 wins on the road this year. New Jersey had won 5 in a row.
Toronto just had 15 wins on the season. That's a huge loss.
Weber, Eccles, pump fake.
Oh, defense,
Travel.
defense, defense. Weber did the right thing. He put the ball on the floor, attacked the basket, forced the double team, passed it, and Liddell Eccles trouble.
5-point margin. Here's Starks, just hit the big three in the lane. No. Eccles rebound, Washington. Shamgod, Eccles, Juwan Howard with a sore ankle. Ball on the floor, another Washington turnover.
It's a half-court game now, and that falls right into New York's hands. And I like what Jeff Van Gundy did. He went in and taught a pick-and-roll play for John Starks to get him another shot. He wants to get him off, and Bernie Bickerstaff is going to try to bring Murray in because he knows his team needs offense. Good coaching, both teams.
5 turnovers last 3 minutes for Washington. Here's Houston. Over Weber. Got it. The lead is 3. A Washington team that had a 10-point lead at home before losing to Atlanta Sunday. They were up by 18 in this quarter. A 15-1 Knick run. Howard misses, Buck Williams rebound. John Starks, Allen Houston. Starks tries to get there for the rebound, but it goes to Weber.
Boy, this is some action on the court right now. Oh, wow.
Offensive foul.
And you can pick who it was. There were 2 Knicks there waiting to give up their body for that offensive foul. This is when Bernie Bickerstaff needs Rod Strickland. Right now, when you need a guard to create a shot or create a shot for someone else.
Chris Whitney back on the floor for Shamgod. Tracy Murray is also out there for Washington. Starks guarded by Liddell Eccles. That's a pick from Terry Cummings. Pick and roll. Here's Cummings. His drive off balance. Howard with a foul. Cummings will shoot free throws.
Now up, playing great, lose the game. And they're still playing hard, but right now they're struggling offensively, and when they go to the free throw line, they miss shots. 1-point game.
The New York Knicks have never led in this ball game. Last time was a tie at 28, but they were this close.
Things are going, you have to take them out. Oh, my. You know what? Jeff Van Gundy had to make the decision, should I take him out? Let him play. Good decision taking him out.
In his eyes.
I tell you what, I've been there. You know, when you're struggling, it just feels like something comes and gets you anyway. He's playing well, 5 fouls. You have to sit down.
Chris Childs, Allen Houston, Charlie Ward with Cummings and Buck Williams. Allen Houston.
As you can see again, Washington bringing the Weber all the way out. They don't want Houston to beat it. Crap, Allen.
Williams defends.
Oh, great defense by Chris Childs.
Another turnover. That's 7 in the last 8 minutes. Charlie Ward, Buck Williams, no. And it's taken away as Cummings went up for it. Liddell Eccles comes down with it.
Yeah, I didn't see there was any way possible for Buck Williams to make that shot with the trees he was shooting it into.
The lead was 18 for the Wizards. Whitney, another save by Liddell Eccles. And he takes 5-point margin yet again. That is the first Wizard field goal in the last 8 minutes. Houston. Yes! No! Offensive foul.
Good call. His feet were set. He was outside the charging zone, and that was a good call. And once again, Wallace steps forward.
2 seconds to go. Here's Weber. Almost rattled it home. But the Knicks go on a 17-1 run lead. The Knicks protest of their 1-point loss to Miami on Sunday was denied by Commissioner David Stern. But then they get an unexpected break in their battle for the 7th seed as Terry Cummings hits 2 as Toronto wins only its 16th game of the season and knocks off New Jersey. 3-point game. New York has never led. Tracy Murray. Oh, what a quick move by Weber. Weber missed 2 big free throws.
I think this is the #1 problem, missing free throws. It's tough to win basketball games when the other team can foul you every time you have a wide open shot.
Childs back to Charlie Ward, who takes it strong and went down hard.
Well, he went down awkward, too. I mean, this is a hit. He lost his balance. Hits his head, but it's on a padded railing, so that helps.
Ruled a non-shooting foul on Wallace.
I don't know about that call.
I don't either.
It was a non-shooting foul because he got wiped out.
Here's Houston. Puts it right in the hands of Shamgod. Charlie Ward back defensively. 3-point Washington lead. Buck Williams and Juwan Howard tumbled to the floor.
Yeah, they did. Buck took a seat for a little while.
Weber in the corner. Howard pumps, puts it up.
Oh, great defense by Terry Cummings.
Childs fights Tracy Murray at the other end. Here's Terry Cummings.
Oh,
got it.
Terry Cummings made Juwan Howard miss that shot, ran down and got the bucket.
Back to a 1-point margin. Last tie was at 28. It was 71-70 late third quarter. Juwan Howard got it.
And he can make that shot.
Under 10 to go. Childs dishes left side for Cummings. Over Wallace. 2 more.
At this point in his career, he's a streak player. Right now, he's on a good streak, and the Knicks are riding him.
16th season for Terry Cummings. Picked up February, 3 of 3 in the quarter.
Has played more playoff games without going to the finals than any player in the NBA right now.
Tracy Murray for another 2, 79-76, 9:20 to go. Cummings, that one is short. Loose ball, tracked down by Shamgod, who hustles across midcourt.
The thing you like if you're Washington, this game has turned all of a sudden into an up-tempo game, and I think that favors Washington. New York had Washington in a half-court game, and right now it's starting to get up-tempo again, and I don't think that's good for New York.
Shamgod with Ward guarding him. Kicks it back outside. Weber for 3.
Well, you don't like it, but it was only one.
Over in his injured left ankle. They taped it again.
All right, Allen Houston out there with Ward and Childs now. And there's a turnover off the Oakley pass, picked off by Tracy Murray. Weber, acrobatic move for
up and down, and they still are doing it. And this favors Washington.
Childs gets there. And the second. Shamgot picked up by Charlie Ward. Shamgot, Ben Wallace. There's a steal from Charlie Ward.
You can see it. He made a college mistake. You do not dribble in front of an NBA ball player. You put it on the side or you turn your back, but not in his face. And that's exactly what he did.
Now Ward picks up the pressure on Shamgot again.
And you know what? He did it again. He put it right in Ward's face. I mean, watch this. He'll dribble it right in his face, right here. You can't do that.
Terry Cummings, left-handed, got it. 2-point game, timeout Washington. Patrick Ewing leads the cheers. The Wizards miss Rod Strickland. Jersey loses at home to Toronto 96-92.
And you know what? Also Wizards fans.
Yes, that's right.
Because they need both teams to lose every game also. The Wizards can do something about that now.
Whitney, huge.
Yes, they let him set his feet. He will burn you. I said it in the first quarter, and he got an open shot.
Here's Chris Childs, Allen Houston. Terry Cummings takes the jumper. No. Ben Wallace with another rebound. That's 9 rebounds for Wallace tonight. Washington led by as many as 18 third quarter. They were up by 12 at the half.
Yeah, but you can see right now with the Knicks, their go-to guy quiet in the second half.
5 fouls on Oakley.
That's why.
Yep. So he joins Starks. 6:45 to go in regulation. Murray picked up by Houston. And this is going to be called on Chris. Will inbound it.
When you look at Jeff Van Gundy over there making decisions, you know, you're taking Charles Oakley out, you're putting Buck Williams in. Tough call for Van Gundy. And you can see it took him a while before he made that decision.
Murray with that last basket. Now Whitney picks up Charlie Ward, a 7-point lead yet again. Allen Houston goes right into the lane, kicks it outside. Ward for 3, no. And Wallace does a nice job of keeping the ball alive.
Wallace, to me, has been the most valuable player in this game. He's doing things without scoring points.
Under 6 remaining in regulation. A turnover again as Weber threw it away. Childs, Charlie Ward, and Whitney. 5:48 to go.
The mistake the Knicks made again, Vern, is they had this game, the tempo in their hands, and they got antsy. They tried to run with the Washington Wizards. New York fell into the trap.
Here's Childs in the corner. Houston quickly up, no good.
But once again, a big guy contests the shot. They've done a nice job tonight of making sure big guys are contesting shots by Allen Houston, and he had to change it.
12 rebounds for Juwan Howard. Here's Whitney in and out. Offensive board, foul called. Howard goes to the strip for Juwan Howard.
But I guarantee you Washington knows that also.
Bounce pass, Starks for 3. No.
See, that's a tough shot. You've been sitting down for 4 and 5 minutes, and you walk in and you take a 3. That's a difficult shot to make.
Whitney. Childs defending. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Whitney.
Oh,
another one.
I tell you, he will shoot you.
Seemingly just a moment ago.
Yeah, and momentum all on New York's side.
Houston, jumper, good.
See, they have to get him in an open court situation with a live dribble. And with Howard and Weber away from him.
Now Childs in a wrestling match with Whitney away from the ball. Howard alley-oop. Ben Wallace with a putback.
He's been Johnny on the spot the entire night.
Ben Wallace in his 13th start, 8 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 blocks tonight. On the line, Allen Houston.
It's a sad thing, he makes this shot. Well, we couldn't see it real good, but he did because Blaine was right there.
4 minutes to go. Whitney, pick and roll, Weber. In the corner, Murray, quickly.
Wow.
Boy.
You're not kidding quickly. Wow.
Offensive board, Wizards, 3:45. If they win tonight, they end a 3-game losing streak, and their hopes remain alive.
If they lose at this point, I would be surprised.
Right.
I really think they have this game in hand. The key thing here, though, is foul shooting, and there's a lot of time left.
Giles, Chaney knocks it out of bounds. Houston, Chris Childs, Chris Mills, and Buck Williams. Underneath, no.
And it
Starks. Charles Oakley comes back to the floor with 5 fouls. He'll replace Chris Mills.
I mean, we were talking about Washington this morning and shoot around, and I was telling you, Vern, how tough it would be to coach a team at this point, and you can see it on Bernie Bickerstaff's face, who everyone thought would make the playoffs. Basically now, the chances are against you, and Bernie's job was to get this team to come in here and play hard and play with intensity, and he pulled it off, and I think the key move he made early on was trapping, making this team press, because that forces you to get into the game.
Touch pass underneath to Juan Howard. That one's off Howard's hands. Another turnover for the Wizards. The lead is 9 with 3:09 to go. Allen Houston needs some help. Oakley comes back to give it. Now back into Houston's hands. Murray picks him up. Baseline runner in and out. Oakley with a rebound. Back to Houston for 2. Lead is 7.
Yeah, Washington better watch out, because here comes New York again. And you have to think at some point that free throw shooting will play a part in this game.
Half the New York Knicks have carved the lead down to 1 by 7 with 2:55 to go. The Washington Wizards trying to keep their slim playoff hopes alive. They need to win tonight and then 3 more times.
Yeah, a lot of time in this game with 2:55 left.
In the backcourt, Chris Whitney, who has got 2 big 3-point plays here. 3-point baskets in the 4th quarter. Whitney, pick and roll. Weber, Tracy Murray. Oh, boy.
He's one of those guys who's always a good shooter, and every once in a while he'll get on a streak where he's a great shooter. The 50-point night was that streak.
25 points tonight in 27 minutes. Oakley back to Houston, who saves it. Takes a tough runner, got it.
It's a great duel between Murray and Houston.
A 7-point margin, 2:09 to go. Calvert Chaney.
See, this is something I'm surprised the Knicks didn't do more of tonight, is pressure the ball. Without Rod Strickland, the Wizards' turnovers were up. I'm surprised they didn't do more of this. Now they're doing it.
Here's Chaney. Murray in the corner. Another one.
My.
Oh, my gracious.
Now it's Houston's turn.
27 points on 9 of 14 from the field. Starks back to the free throw line.
To every key team except for Seattle. They've been pretty healthy. Shrimp missed some games, but after that, they've been pretty healthy all year.
Starks one more. 7-point margin again. With 98 seconds to go in regulation play. Here's Shamgod. Whitney. Finally, Juwan Howard.
There's a look at the shot clock.
It's down to 6. Shamgod. Short with a shot. Here's Allen Houston. At the other end, Starks. Flips it back to Oakley. Good save by Starks. In the corner for 3. No. Loose ball foul, New York.
I'll tell you how important passing is. That was a poor pass from Oakley to Starks. Starks had to take that shot. That threw him off, and that helps you miss shots. Passing is so important.
free throw line. Washington tonight 18 of 32. And Whitney is there.
And see, that's not his ankle right there, Murray.
No. Whitney gets one.
Play like Chris Whitney.
Not too far from the Statue of Liberty, Madison Square Garden, 33rd between Broadway and 8th. And Washington leading New York 101 to 92 with 64 seconds to go.
Well, Washington played free.
Yes.
You know, they symbolize the Statue of Liberty. Especially that guy.
Yeah, 27 points tonight. This is a Wizard team that was embarrassed in its last 2 ball games.
And I know you're wondering why he's sitting on the bench. Well, they want defense, and that's why Calvert Chaney's in.
Back it goes to Childs. Final minute. Here's Chris Childs. He'll go to the free throw line. If the Wizards hold on and win this one, here's what remains. New Jersey at Charlotte, then at Orlando, and then at home against Detroit. New York has Toronto here on Thursday, then at Chicago. The Wizards back home against Cleveland tomorrow night, at Miami, and then Boston.
Well, I tell you what, you look at that, and that's a tough call. You got to assume the Knicks will at least split, meaning they better beat Toronto. And then you look at New Jersey, and I honestly think that they can lose 2 or 3 of those games. I think Charlotte is going to be a tough one. They're trying to stay in front of Atlanta.
Right.
Then you have Detroit at the end of the schedule, and Orlando is the game that I think can go either way for New Jersey. It's a must-win for New Jersey.
Childs gets them both. 51.3 remaining. 7-point lead again. Tracy Murray back on the floor. Shamgod loses it. Loose ball.
Boy, New York is staying in there. If they make it.
101-94. Charlie Ward will inbound. Looks for Allen Houston. Picked up by Juwan Howard. Here's Weber coming over to help. Basket good. Wow.
That was not an easy shot.
Lead is 5. Pressure on the ball. Shamgod in the backcourt. Knocked out the hands of Chris Whitney. And Shamgod is fouled.
73% free throw shooter. But never in this situation since.
Which is 69.5. 1 of 2, lead 6. 30 seconds to go. Knicks have no timeouts left. Houston kicks it out to Starks. Looks down at the line. Hits the 3.
Wow.
Terry Davis fights to get it inbounds, and Shamgod is fouled.
Now, you know what was funny on that